Hi everybody, this is Daniel Hill. I'm sitting with Eric Scott. I've known Eric for a long time, and I'm excited to get a chance to sit down and do an interview with him. How you doing, Eric?
I'm doing well, brother.
Thanks for coming to the studio and hanging out.
Thanks for having me here, man. Looking forward to talking music with you and whatever else comes up.
It's a beautiful, rainy Maryland weather outside, ready for fall.
It's an ugly, dreary day, but it's a beautiful day because the Nats won last night.
Yes.
They're going to the World Series. Just had to throw that out there.
That's a good day.
Yeah,
Lots of excited people.
Very exciting.
I want to kind of get everybody caught up to speed on a little bit about you and some of the highlights of your career, as they say. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself and some of the things that have really been exciting for you over the last couple of years?
Yes, indeed. Well, somebody pointed this out to me. I wasn't even aware of it myself, but 2019, this is my 25-year anniversary of being a full-time musician.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I started in 94, and I look back sometimes, and I don't even know how I managed to do it sometimes, right. But I'm just grateful that I can. Started releasing my own records in 99, right up to the current release, my EP that I just dropped called Charm City Sessions. It was my 5th record, and up to that point I've just managed to stay real busy touring with some artists, doing my own band, as a pro player, just hustling, private events, a lot of session work, some voiceover stuff. It's been an interesting ride. Well, I hadn't released a record since 2012, which was an acoustic record called Where the Water Runs Deepest, and so I had a good bit of music saved up. So I decided to do a crowdfunding campaign, which a lot of independent artists do these days. And the plan was to do one record called Peace Bomb, but I had enough music that I'm like, oh, I think I can do a full record and an EP. So I recorded 19 songs at one time, which I will never, ever do again, because it's just very difficult. But the 6-song EP, I wanted to work with Scott Smith, a producer out of Baltimore that I recorded 3 records with. So we did the EP, and we talked about what we wanted it to sound like. And I love old school soul music, so we wanted to steer it in a kind of a modern throwback kind of soul way, and that's kind of the way it ended up coming out. Peace Bomb is a little more modern sounding, but again with a foot in 70s throwback sound.
Sure, but it's not quite like a B-sides. It's not like recording a record and then having, there's some other stuff that didn't quite make it to the record that you should listen to. You have a cohesive thought that you're trying to convey with Charm City Sessions, right?
Absolutely. I wanted to get back, I mentioned the 2012 CD. It was very personal, singer-songwriter kind of, I had to purge a lot of things in that record, and I told myself I wanted to get back to making some fun, happy, upbeat, soul pop music.
Because the world needs more of it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that was the whole intent of the Charm City Sessions. But I did manage, I think I'm a singer-songwriter at heart, and I do, try to get some of that stuff that's real deep inside out. And there's a track on there called There's Some Things I'll Never Know. It's the last track, and that's more of, it's kind of got a foot in the previous release,
Sure.
But it made its way onto the Charm City Sessions. But that record is just an upbeat, happy sounding throwback soul record.
You're really transitioning from your 2012 release and kind of guiding the listeners into being prepared for what you have for them with Peace Bomb.
Yeah, yes, I do believe that. Like I said, I feel like I really challenged myself with these last 2 recordings. Like I said, to try some different things, try to have a bigger sound, bigger arrangements, bigger studios, more musicians, and I do feel like it is somewhat of a transition from the stuff I've released previously. To just go in some new directions musically, but kind of keep it in the soul genre.
Your primary instrument is bass.
Yes, I'm a bassist and a vocalist.
How does that impact the writing process for you, where you're sitting and coming up with your ideas and then trying to convey melody to other people? What's your how do you use the bass instrument as a songwriting tool?
That's a good question. I get asked that pretty frequently, and quite honestly, I don't really write on the bass that much. I mean, there are times when during a sound check or something like that, or when I'm just noodling around, a good idea might come, and I'm like, oh, I gotta save that one and work on it. That has happened, but most of the times, man, I mean, I manage to get the best ideas in my brain, and you kind of know which are the ideas that you want to keep and develop. You know? And as far as conveying them to the musicians that I'm playing with, it's I like to give them a lot of leeway. Right? You know, if I give them a little direction, just in a very crude, boo-doo-boo, play this, doo-doo-ba-ba-doo-boo-doo. However, I've got to get the message across to them, you know. But I try to pick the right people and let them bring what they do to the table to complement the music. Musically, I'm coming from, a soul pop kind of place. So just by that reason alone, I mean, it's going to sound consistent, hopefully. So I've managed to kind of stay in that box, if you will. But the latest recordings that I've done, I don't think you have to evolve musically. You can't do the same thing over and over again. I remember there's a quote AC/DC said, we've made the same record over and over again for 30 years or something, which I always thought was interesting. And but the latest recordings that I'm doing, it's modern soul music, but I'm trying different things. I'm adding horns,
right.
I'm adding choirs. The arrangements are a little more adventurous and complex, dipping into some different things genre-wise, but hopefully it still stays in the modern soul box. So
sure,
it's been fun.
We talked about a little bit about being a good-natured person when you were here before the camera was rolling, and so Peace Bomb is it's a bit of your protest, isn't it? Like, it's a little bit of your ability to convey publicly how you feel about life, about the struggle of personal relationships and interacting with each other in a global way. Is that a fair assessment?
It is. I mean, I don't know. Different musicians express themselves different ways. I can tell you that I'm very aware and very concerned with the state of our world.
Right.
And it always seems to creep into my songwriting. The social conscience kind of aspect sometimes, and it's happened a lot on Red.
Right.
2007. But Peace Bomb, I mean, it's a crazy world these days, man.
Right.
And sometimes it's looking around and like, man, it's just coming unhinged before our very eyes. And how can I convey, a song idea that just conveys, hey, man, let's all come together and have peace? And somehow I came up with that concept of Peace Bomb. And, obviously the notion of a bomb dropping is destruction. But I'm like, well, what if a bomb dropped and it spread peace, man,
right,
all over the place, So that's where that song came from. And there's a little bit of, obviously that song, but there's a social concept in the album. But a lot of Peace Bomb is just, a continuation of Charm City, just upbeat, happy soul music and some, singer-songwriter upbeat stuff.
So you're kind of setting an example of where you want a listener to end up by the time they finish the record. That you've created this upbeat, happy environment for them to join you in, and then hopefully that will become the positive change in their everyday lives.
If they're kind enough to listen that intently, yes, that is the purpose. But I'm also trying to uplift myself, man.
Sure.
I'm trying to write happy music and keep myself grounded and positive, because life is tough and we're not always happy. We talked about that before the camera came on too. So I think the music also stems from that place as well.
What's next after, or I guess I should say, when is the release scheduled for Peace Bomb? And what shows do you have coming up? What do you have going on around the release or between now and the release?
There is an East Coast tour planned, which I am working on right now. I'll probably start in the Mid-Atlantic and hopefully go from there, build from there. Peace Bomb looks like it's going to drop in early 2020.
All right.
I thought it would be sooner, but I don't want to rush it. And I'll probably, because of the business model and music releasing model of today, I'll probably release it as a series of singles first,
right,
before the entire CD comes out.
Sure. Sounds good.
Yeah.
It's making people wait.
Well, I mean, hopefully they'll be interested enough to wait and kind of take the ride.
Sure.
I think it's some of my coolest work. I'm excited about it. I'm interested to just put it out there a step at a time, and hopefully people will stay engaged with me and take the ride.
Baby girl, you've grown so fast. Won't be long, you'll have the world in your hands. You're such a joy, with eyes aglow. May I share some things that I know? Don't be afraid of the dark. Darkness is daylight, just waiting to start. You'll find love, maybe once, maybe twice. May take a few heartbreaks, but you'll get it right. Always believe and know that you should. Take what's inside yourself and use it for good. Live your life free and know that you should. Take what's inside yourself and use it for good. The road is long, where to start? Trust yourself and just follow your heart. I've no doubt how high you will fly. You're the brightest star in the sky. Always believe and know that you should. Take what's inside yourself and use it for good. Live your life free and know that you should. Take what's inside yourself and use it for good. Dance in the rain, sing every day. Always give thanks and remember to pray. When you're alone with tears that won't end, sometimes a song can be your best friend. The world can be cruel. Don't let it steal your smile from you. Feel the joy, feel the pain. When you fail, try again. And believe and know that you should. Take what's inside yourself and use it for good. Live your life free and know that you should. Take what's inside yourself and use it for good. Always believe and know that you should. Take what's inside yourself and use it for good. And live free and know that you should. Look inside yourself. Always trust yourself. Always be yourself. Don't be no one else. Look inside and use it for good.